You know what I didn't know, Colby?
Oh, what's that, Barry?
That squirrel butts don't glow. They just don't. Meat mark. This.
A dollar to anybody who gets it off of that quote.
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
Oh, this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the second week of
Terry Gilliam, Director Extraordinaire Month.
I mean, this guy's pushing some envelopes. It's a very far cry from "'Tis but a scratch." This one gets weird.
Yeah. Terry Gilliam, best known for being one of the directors of Monty Python,
Yeah.
Holy Grail.
And what was the one from '88? The one with Uma Thurman?
The Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
Yeah, that
That
was a fun
is
one too.
my top favorite movie of all time.
Oh, Uma Thurman does look delicious. This sounds so creepy. No, Uma Thurman. Oh man, she was like I think I watched that when I was like around 10. I was like, oh my god, Uma Thurman. And then she was like Poison Ivy.
Right.
The
Oh yeah.
Joe Schumacher ones. I was like, oh, even more. Because I liked her. Well, I liked her more before she became Poison Ivy. I like her with the frizzy scientist hair.
Yes.
Not the meekness of her personality, but just like the unkept like.
Yeah. So
it's just like so Barry just likes dirty looking girls, right?
no, it's like she's beautiful, but she doesn't know it, and so I have a chance. That's like
that sounds so bad. So he's like, oh, so these guys are also insecure. No, it's definitely like it has that feeling of like, oh, there's a new girl in school, and before she finds out about the other cooler guys,
right? Yes. Yep.
It almost sounds predatory, but then again, like girls also like the new guy in school, like especially if he's a foreign exchange student.
Neither one of us are over 6 feet tall. We got to do what we can do.
Did you ever have a foreign exchange student when you were going to high school?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was he? Do you remember? Was he like Asian? Was he like from African?
No, we had a guy from Africa, like white blonde hair.
Oh, from South Africa.
But had like the coolest accent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he pulled all the girls.
Oh, see,
he was 6 foot tall.
I think I had it worse. I had a French guy, 6 foot, basketball player, model. Model? Yeah. Oh my gosh. The moment he came into school, the whole school was just raving. Oh, all the girls were raving about the new French guy.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in a freaking teen rom-com and I was the funny side character.
Yeah, you were the sidekick to Peter Parker.
Yeah, exactly. You're just pretty much. Yeah. I was like Ned. I was like trying to think about Toby because Toby's my Spider-Man. But no, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I was pretty much Ned, you know. But I know Terry Gilliam. That's the movies that we're doing this month, and I can tell you this is a very far cry from those.
Yeah,
classics.
I always wanted to see this movie, and I never had seen it. And I was like, hey, since we're doing this month, new showing for me. This is going to be great because I'm a huge fan of his and Terry Gilliam, and so I like none of his movies I dislike. You know, some are better than others, but and like I said, and my favorite movie of all time is done by him. So I was excited to see this, and this one's a little rough.
This is probably the first time Colby said that about a movie.
Yeah, this is.
But this one, I think. Well, here let's do the Osh Gosh Bagosh trailer. Jeliza-Rose. Oh, where could she be? Her psyche is in a haze, cloudy as it can be. Parents not well. OD on yellow bricks. It seems that Rose a switch in Rose. Oh no! It seems that Jeliza-Rose's mind turned off a switch. That doesn't rhyme with bricks. So we must hurry because time is ever running. Down the rabbit hole she seems to be falling. She lives in her own head, a wonderland. Let's find out in 2006 Tideland. This is hard. This is rough. This I was like, how do I even make a Oshkosh Bagosh? That's what the segment is now called. I think it's like a children's clothing store, right? I think that's where I got all my what are those things called? The one where you put one, you take one off, and you back in the 90s it was really cool,
right,
to have one off. What were those called?
Like,
not jumpers.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's romper.
No, I think that's like the women's version. Overalls, I guess.
Oh,
yeah, I had a bunch of those when I was growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, but I always had one out. Like cool.
Oh, yeah, right. Like, because that was the rappers.
Yeah. Yeah, and growing up in that neighborhood, I was like, if I had both of them on, I was a square.
Right. Yeah.
No, but today we're talking about the 2006 movie Tideland, starring the dude. which actually checks because he was the dude.
He was
Jeff Bridges.
Yep. Jennifer Tilly's in it.
Yeah, cult horror like movie queen.
Right.
And
she was the
Bride of Chucky.
Girl Chucky. Yep.
Yeah, and also, who doesn't? I feel like get enough flowers. Jodelle Ferland, who is almost like in a very Summer Glau type of category of acting.
Mm-hmm.
She does a lot of good sci-fi. She does a decent amount of horror, like a lot of B movie stuff. She was also like a big part of Dark Matter, the sci-fi show.
Yeah, that was a great show. I like that show.
It was super enjoyable, and I was sad that they cut it off. After 2 years, like 2-3 seasons.
3? Maybe it was 3 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, like I know one of the girls from that is also now, I think in The Rookie.
Okay.
She's like she was like one of the badass like Asian chick.
Right.
I think she's Asian. But yeah, it's a pretty stacked.
And then the guy did The Strain, that series about the vampires.
Oh, who? Which one?
The guy, Russian-y guy.
No, I know. Like which guy in this movie?
No, sorry, Dark Matter.
Oh.
You were talking about Dark Matter, and it's just my brain got stuck on that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the other chick I was talking about was Melissa O'Neill. I don't know if she's Asian though. Let's go to her Wikipedia. Oh, she is Chinese. Okay, boom, got it. I'm not a racist. Oh no, but yeah, this movie is it is not for everybody. Let's just get that out the way first.
Right. Yes. This I felt like I had a good bringing up, a good solid home foundation. And so there was a lot of things in this that I could look at as it was a movie. But I feel like if you had a really rough childhood, there's things in this movie that could be very triggering.
Yeah, because I grew up relatively well, had my mom at least, dad later on in life, but she did her best, right? You could, obviously, growing up, you could tell the effort, the difference in like some people who had a much rougher like childhood and upbringing, and so yeah, definitely like a trigger warning if you have past trauma that you're still trying to work through, because this is a really rough watch, and I really don't know how to do this chronologically, so we're just going to talk about it in segments.
Yeah.
So the beginning of this movie, it opens up with Nash Bridges, or not Nash Bridges. Is that another person?
Yeah.
It opens up with this family: Jeff Bridges, Jennifer Tilly, and Jodelle.
Oh, well, so
Oh, sorry.
kind of to start, like, just as like the entire movie is seen through and told through the eyes of this child. The movie,
Yeah.
the whole movie's about this, the Eliza-Rose.
Yeah, Yeah.
Jeliza-Rose. And so it is all, like, the movie is fantastic and in a fantasy kind of way, because it's the way she sees the world as a super naive child.
Yeah, I mean it's half and half, right? It's almost like constricted, but also by its budget, because we do get shots of her in the fantasy aspect of it,
Right.
but not as much as I was really hoping for.
I agreed. Yeah.
Coming from what's his name? Terry Gilliam.
Yeah.
But that's also sort of like a kick in the teeth for you, like as a viewer,
Right.
because you're like, oh, this little girl's crazy. This little girl's talking to little chopped up heads.
We'll kind of get into that.
Yeah. So we'll talk about this in segments. It opens up. Well, there's a short portion of the movie where it opens up with Jodelle. She's like in this abandoned car, and she's like, "Oh, the sharks are coming," or something like that, right?
Yep.
And then it cuts back to this dingy apartment with Jeff Bridges. He's talking about like Norse mythology or Jutland and stuff like that, and
Right.
it kind of opens up like first it's like a little concert thing, and then it goes to their home. But he's talking about that. Jennifer Tilly is obviously a junkie in this movie. Right. Right. Super all over.
She's very like, it's almost like how I feel like when I first saw her. Her look is so different than usual.
Oh yeah.
That I was like, is this like Courtney Love playing this part? Like, because that's the kind of
that's the kind of look that it was.
Yeah.
That was happening, right? And then so like, she's having like this like tiff with Jeff Bridges, or like kind of arguing, but then like Jeff Bridges is like goes to Jodelle and he's like, yeah, don't you want to go to Jutland? And she's like, yeah, you're not invited, Mom.
Yeah, and Mom's just like, you take your little shit demon, get the hell out of here,
And then you're like,
something beautiful that your mom should say to you.
And you're like, and I was like, what does Jodelle do? What is Jeliza-Rose doing right now? Because in her hand is a syringe.
Right.
And I'm like, well, maybe is someone diabetic?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but then Jeff Bridges sits on the little lazy boy, and he's
like, "Girl, it's time for a vacation."
Yeah, he grabs that that rubber, that what's it called, the medical rubber thing.
Yeah, just like the tube.
The tube probably. And I was like, oh, that is not diabetes. That is not insulin.
Yeah, right.
Daddy's about to go on vacation.
Yeah. And
but for her, it's so jarring just because of how normalized it is for her.
Oh, right.
Because then she gives him the needle. He injects it, and then she like moves his hand like above his head so the drugs can kind of go by faster.
Right. And she holds his other hand because he's got a cigarette in his other hand. Oh. And as he starts to pass out, she holds his hand so the cigarette doesn't fall on the ground.
Yeah. And Daddy's on vacation, and then she's like, "Well, before that, like, Mom was like, after you're done with Daddy, come rub my feet."
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh, that was a trigger for me too." Like, I used to have to do that as a youth, as the British people would call it, a child, a youth.
Right.
Yeah, because my mom used to work at like a deli, so it was her on her feet, and I was just like, ugh. But and then like the mother is just like, oh, I'm so sorry, Jeliza. I love you so much, and your dad just gets me so riled up sometimes. And just Jeliza's like, oh, okay, well, can I have some of your chocolate?
No, don't touch my chocolate. That's Mom's chocolate. And there's a whole box of chocolates, and it's like, no, you little crap monster, get the hell away from my chocolate.
Yeah, and so she's like, ugh, fine. You know, it's just maybe she's suffering from like bipolar and the drugs because she did switch. She got off the H, but she's on like methadone.
Methadone, yeah.
Do you know what that is?
That is the basically the heroin substitute that they give you to try to wean you off of heroin, so you don't go through like the hardcore DTs.
Oh yeah, that detox. I've seen like documentaries on it. And I was like, why would I ever want to start that? You know what I mean? I would.
If you want to see a movie where they do somebody going through the DTs, Ewan McGregor in Train Spotting.
That is a good one. But I'll give you another one, which the whole movie feels like an anxiety attack. Requiem for a Dream, starring Jared Leto and Marlon Wayans.
Yes,
where they are both also heroin addicts, and Jennifer Connelly.
Yep.
And that movie, as messed up as it is, it has like one of my favorite lines in cinema ever, and it's so juvenile too because it's Keith David. You know who Keith David is, right?
Right.
You know, from They Live, of course you know.
Yeah.
He's this is a huge detour, but we're talking about H right now. But he's doing like this party thing, and Jennifer Connelly is like trying to get her drugs. So he coerces her into like a sexual acts, but he takes his penis out, and in his deep like velvety voice, he's like, "I know it's pretty, but I didn't take it out for no air." And I was like, "Oh my god, someone wrote that." It'd be funnier if it was just an ad lib too.
Right. Yep.
But for this little girl, it's her life. Like her parents are addicts.
Yeah.
You know, and so she goes to sleep, and then all of a sudden, Jeff Bridges bursts through the door.
Right.
He's like, "Baby, the bog." He's talking about the bogs and
the bogs from the land.
Yeah.
The bog monsters. They're after me, and and it's like he is off his nut. Yeah.
And at first, like Jeliza kind of reacts like a normal child. She like puts her pillow over her head, but then she she just like and she kind of resigns and starts to entertain it.
Right.
You don't know how, where this girl's psyche is just because of everything that's going around in her house. And then they go into their mother's room, and she had overdosed on methadone.
Yeah.
And he tries to give her a Viking funeral.
Right. Yeah, he puts all of her treasured things on top of her, wraps her up in the blanket, and then goes to light it. And it's the little girl who's like, Daddy, maybe we shouldn't light her on fire because it's going to burn down the building, and then everybody else here will be homeless. Yeah. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But he's like, we should probably go before the bog comes.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, the police. You mean the police?
Yeah. Right.
So they hop on a Greyhound and they jet, or not jet, but they bus to his hometown in Texas.
Right.
And
it's this is where he grew up. This is where his mom used to live, but she's passed some time ago.
Yeah, and the house is abandoned. It's
but he's also like he's trying to be playful, but it's like a super rude playful. Like he's on this like packed bus, and he keeps farting, and he keeps blaming it on
her,
Jeliza.
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, Jeliza, what? You're letting go the air biscuits? It's stinking up the bus." And she's all like super embarrassed.
Yeah. He's because what did she say? Cutting biscuits.
Cutting biscuits. Yeah.
I don't know if that's a Texas thing, but it's the most what's it called? It's the least vulgar way to say that. But this whole bus ride seems like a nightmare. I don't know if you have you ever taken a Greyhound before?
Not long.
Hated it.
I've done like if it was like a tour kind of thing, or even like it's like a whole day to get to a tour destination or something, but never like let's travel on a bus.
Ugh, it is the worst. I did it like maybe I think once, and I don't know if it's Greyhound or whatever bus I was on. It had like a bathroom, And that is the seat that you do not want.
Oh, back of the bus next to the crapper.
And I took it from here to California, and it took 9 hours on a bus. And I'm like, it's a rough go at it. So they take this bus, and the bus doesn't even take them all the way through. They have to hitchhike to get to this desolate area.
Yeah.
Where this house that looks like it was there ever since, like a little house on the prairie.
Right, it's exactly what it looks like. A little house
like,
there. Like this was the house they used for filming back then, and then no one's been in the house since the 80s.
Yeah, it's the house from Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something like that. And you just know, like, these abandoned houses always kind of creep me out because what sort of crimes are happening in there? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so they go in there, and he was like, "Welcome home, baby."
Yeah.
This is where Daddy grew up.
And it's pretty run down. It is definitely dirty. He mentions that there was a kid that lived nearby that was supposed to come and do like the weeding and mow the lawn, but now it's just like dry grass.
Yeah,
that's just grown up all around the entire house.
Yeah, that house is one cigarette flick away from bursting into flames.
Yeah.
But like no, the house is torn apart. There's like all these like vandalism in there.
Yeah.
And she's just like, "Where's my room?" And she's like, "It's upstairs." And
he's like, "Is it upstairs near heaven?"
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure the dad is kind of going through some withdrawals right now. He's like, I don't know where they were living, but it was probably a ways away. So yeah, she sets up in this room, and it's just like this disgusting bed, but she's I guess she's so used to like living in filth,
right?
That like she just like lays down on it, and
Obviously, like
yuck.
Like a little kid, you take them camping, or you take them out to like and they're just like, whatever, I'll sleep under the stars. I'll throw my sleeping bag, in the dirt. It doesn't matter.
No, I think that's a white thing.
Oh, they're white.
Yeah, they are white, yeah. No, I mean, I guess it just depends on the context, right? But if it's like, this is supposed to be my home.
Right. But again, the innocence of and the unknowing of her mind is just like, oh, this place isn't great, but it's as good as we were having, hey, at least I have my own room here.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I have a friend that has a little daughter, sassiest little thing ever. She's just so sassy and uptight. No, but yeah, and so like the dad starts kind of setting up, and he's like, "All right, come on, baby, but you gotta let Daddy go on a vacation." Yeah,
and she's like, no, we just got here, not very long. He's like, oh no, just a little quick one, just a little short little vacation, just to settle my mind.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he goes on a permanent vacation.
Yeah.
Yep. On a different farm.
Right. Yep.
Up north. Oh man, but no, Jeliza, puts her daddy on a little vacation, and then she gets her toys, which are like chopped off like doll heads, and she puts them on her fingers.
Right, because it's interesting because she's got a suitcase that she's carried all the way from wherever, and she goes upstairs, she opens it up, it's 4 chopped up doll heads, which are her friends that she talks to, her mom's wedding dress. And like a little bag of like her mom's makeup.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And that's all. She didn't bring any of her own. Who knows? Maybe she didn't really have her own clothes.
I mean, maybe she just like didn't really have a good grasp on like possessions as well. Like, because I mean,
right.
When you see little kids like, I'm leaving the house, and they start packing their little stick and bag thing.
Yep.
It's always toys.
Right. Yeah, the most useless things. You can't survive on those.
I'm leaving this house. Tired of all these rules. Yeah, and so she kind of like starts to explore her new surroundings as you would do as a little kid.
Right. And from their front porch, you can only see grass. You can't see anything. Like the road is like way off in the distance. Yeah. And they're in a desolate area where like no cars are driving. Yeah. And it's just surrounded a couple looks like dead trees, but it just is grass, and so she kind of starts a wandering.
Yeah, And she's going on this adventure with her little friends. I think what was her best friend called? Like, it was like
it was like Glitter Girl
and Rose.
Baby Blonde.
Yeah, they're like just like names after like just specific, just traits for all of them, except for like I think her favorite one was, I don't know, Rasputin. I know it's not that. It's something Russian though, and so she kind of starts, but then she comes back home and she's like, Dad, are you still on vacation?
Right. And she's had like, she basically hasn't had friends. It's obviously that they've moved so often she's never really had friends.
Yeah.
So these little doll heads are her friends, and she has full on conversations with them. Which is not unusual for a child to have a toy that they have conversations with.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm gonna nip that one in the bud right now. If I ever have a kid, I'm like, no, wait, who are you talking to? Stop talking to strange things, because it's a fucking ghost. I know it's a ghost. All right. If you keep talking to the ghost, will become stronger. It's like the Force.
Yeah.
No, but she tries to wake up her dad, and like the dad, it seems, cognitive. He like raises his hand.
Yeah.
And she's like, fine, and she takes a jar of peanut butter off of his bag or whatever.
Right.
And she's like, she's eating that, but then she puts a little bit in her dad's mouth.
And she's like, you don't have to eat it, Dad, but just in case you're hungry.
For later. It's like people with beards. It's like, what was a surprise Cheeto?
And that is basically all the food that they brought is a jar of peanut butter.
I mean, you can kind of get away with it.
And then there's like, then she goes upstairs, she's talking to her dolls and stuff like that. And she starts coughing, and she coughs up like, at first I thought it was blood, like if she had a bloody nose or a bloody, but it's like brown. And I was looking into it. Somebody was like, "Hey, when you're super malnourished, like your bile comes up and it's brown." Ooh. So it's like she's basically like not emancipated, but malnourished. Yeah,
let's just say that.
And so
Ooh.
And then she walks over to the mirror and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm dying. And then she like looks at herself in the mirror and like in the reflection, she's like, "No, I'm a doctor. I know you're gonna be okay. You could pull through." Yeah. And it's like
sad.
She like wills herself to.
Right? Where's her Green Lantern ring?
It was right.
Right. If Max the cat could get one for the Red Corps, her will in this whole movie to just stay alive and stay somewhat sane is pretty intense. But no, and the next morning she's like, are you still on vacation, Daddy? That's crazy. And then she goes exploring again, but then she explores to this tree like thing, and then she runs into a woman named Dell.
Yeah.
And they're talking, and at first what's it called, she thinks she's a ghost,
right,
but she's not. So she's like, all right, well, you're a bitch.
Yeah, because Dell is wearing like
a woman in black situation.
Right.
Yeah.
But like they have a conversation, you find out that Dell is scared of bees. Mm-hmm. That basically she feels like bees are like little demons flying around, and that a bee had actually even stung her in her eye and made her blind in one eye, but then she could see everything, the evil through that eye now.
Yeah, but then like Dell also does not like the best friend, like Rapunzel. Let's call her Rapunzel.
Right. Oh yeah, the little doll. That's
Yeah, and she's like, you know what? You can come back tomorrow, but your little Rapunzel friend got to stay home.
Yeah,
because she's a bitch. And so she comes home again and like looks at her dad, puts a little bit of peanut butter in his mouth. Yeah. And then, she like the next morning she wants to head out, but she like puts all of her little doll heads in the tear on the couch. Yep. And she like hypnotizes them. Like, oh, you guys are so sleepy.
Right. Yeah. She's one of their like broken off like legs or arms as like a little like hypnotizing tool. Yeah. Puts them to sleep. And then she tells her
dad,
her comatose dad, she's like, I gotta go explore, but don't tell the girls because they're not supposed to go with me because I'm gonna go meet Dell.
I'm gonna have a picnic,
and she's my new best friend.
Oh.
But don't tell the girls.
Yeah, this girl is just starved for connections.
Yeah.
She goes, but then Dell's not there. But then she runs into. Oh no, she explores a little bit further and she finds a house.
Yeah.
And so she looks into that house and it's I believe Dell in the kitchen, and then there's a man in the next room and he's kind of like very fidgety, very I don't know how to call it.
He is pretty far on the spectrum.
Well, it's because of the brain, right? He got a surgery?
You never really
no, never mind.
Get any kind of answers. He does have a big scar on his head.
Yeah.
And he does say that he had brain surgery.
For the epilepsy, right?
For the epilepsy. But you don't know if he was off or mentally challenged before, or if that is like something that happened because of the surgery.
Oh, actually, I looked it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I was just saying now. He was a bus driver prior, and then he got in an accident with a train, which probably caused a head injury, and which causes his disdain for the train. Later on, we find out he's trying to kill a shark.
Oh, okay, that makes sense because I know at one point he says like he makes a comment like that he used to drive but he can't drive anymore.
Yeah.
And then he said, and then he made a comment that the train tried to eat the bus.
Yeah, that's why he calls it the shark and everything.
Yeah,
it's pretty confusing, you know what I'm saying? Because later on, I'm like so lost in this whole thing because really this Jodelle is like carrying this movie on her back.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how they made her either memorize all these lines, or they're like, hey, just play.
Right, and the way she plays this part so well. It's like when you get like a like a 30-year-old to play like an 18-year-old because you're mature, you've gone through this, you know all this stuff, you can memorize all these lines, you got that, like you can carry this. But she's not like a 16-year-old playing an 8-year-old.
Yeah,
she's like an 8-year-old playing an 8-year-old, and she's
with like 24-year-old lines or something. Well, like as she runs away from the house, she's trying to warn the rabbits.
Right.
Because prior to finding the house, she was waiting for Dell out in the tree, and then the rabbit was like kind of like, messing with her, playing with her and all that stuff. So she's like, "Oh, Mr. Rabbits, you guys got to run. They're going to come and eat you." Oh, that's right,
because when she gets to the house and she first sees that Dell's in the house and that
Dell's like, "Go get some rabbits."
Right. And she's skinning a rabbit and she's like, "You don't get to eat any lunch because you made me go hunt the rabbit."
Yeah. And so, but like, what's it called? Jeliza, she's like, "Oh, Rapunzel, you gotta warn them," and I don't think they can hear me. So she like drops Rapunzel into the thing.
I think she accidentally drops.
Oh yeah,
but it falls way farther down the hole than she can reach.
And she's like, "No, my best friend." And so when she gets home, now the house is kind of stinking. There's flies.
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, Daddy, you stink."
Yep, and she goes and she sits on his lap, and he farts. And that's when you start to realize, oh, he's actually dead, and she's just pushing dead person gas out of him.
I mean, the poop is already out, that's why.
And she's just thinking that he's farting like he was on the train, on the bus.
And biscuits. Yeah, and then so the next day she runs into, what's his name? He had a writer's name, Dickens.
Yeah.
All right, and she's like, "Hey, wait, don't go," because he was about to come into the house because he was looking for Dell.
Oh, right, because he came over, and so he apparently was the kid who was
supposed to be watching.
Supposed to be, keeping cutting the grass and keeping the weeds down and stuff like that,
maintaining the property. And he goes, "Oh, I didn't know there was anybody in there," but then like he like kind of outruns her, but until he stops, he's like, if I run, I get too sweaty.
I run too fast, and then I faint like a girl.
Yeah, that's what he says.
And she's like, I'm a girl, and I don't ever faint.
Yeah. Pussy. No, but this she's like, I gotta leave. I gotta look for Dell. She's gonna be mad. Or something like that. And she's like, wait, hold on. Don't you want to be my friend? And my friend is stuck in the hole. Can you help me get her? And well, he's like, but I gotta go to my sub.
Right. And he's wearing one swimming flipper and a mask.
I didn't even notice the swimming flipper.
One swimming flipper, a mask, and as he walks like he's swimming.
Oh yeah, because he's swimming through the grass. He's like, you gotta keep swimming or else you drown. And Jeliza's like, oh no, I'm drowning. It's almost like how an adult would talk to a child when they're playing. Like, oh, you got me. Ooh, now I'm dead.
Yeah.
Arrange my funeral. So I'm not allowed to play with kids. I just take it too dark. It gets too dark. So I arrange my funeral. Let my mother know. I was supposed to put her down, not me. Make sure your dad doesn't do my eulogy. But no, like, so they go to the sub, they do a little sub adventure, and she's like, well, hey, you said you're going to help me find my friend Rapunzel. And he tries to put his arm in the rabbit hole, but he only gets a rock, and she's like, that's not her. I guess she's just dead now.
Yeah, right.
And then they kind of part ways after that, but later they meet up again, and then
it's like the next day.
Yeah, next day, and this is kind of where it gets really uncomfortable.
Right. Oh, yeah. So he's like, hey, look, I brought bullet shells. Let's go put them on the train tracks because we could see if we could.
Oh wait, no, the uncomfortable part doesn't come till later after the whole. Okay.
Yeah. So he talks about how he puts pennies in the train track, and now he puts like bullet shells, and then like the train drives by and they pop. Yeah. He's got a bunch of like busted up bicycles in the submarine. I air quoted the submarine. And he's like, because those were bait, so it's apparently like things that he is, all the different things that he's tried to throw onto the train track to try to derail the train.
Yeah, and then what's it called? But then Dell comes finding them, and she like pushes Jeliza. Yeah, and then she kind of like she falls, but then we get a little. This is probably the portion, the fantasy aspects of it.
Right, and the whole time when she's on the bus, she's reading to herself and to her dad, Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, and so definitely heavy influences from this, especially if you didn't get it from like this whole movie. You'll get it from this because she's falling down the rabbit hole, and then like her heads are floating. She's like, "Oh look, Jeliza's sleeping. I'm scared." Blah 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 blah. And then she wakes up.
Yep, and she wakes up in her room at the house.
Yeah, but she's like not clothed, or like she has like maybe just like a nightie on or something, or PJs or something like that.
So there is a little bit of other clothes because she did find that there was like a door to the attic because she's chasing a squirrel. Yeah. And she finds a door to the attic, and the attic has like a bunch of her grandma's old clothes. And
but I was just like, why did you guys undress her? Who undressed her? I was
like, right,
uncomfortable.
And now you're like, you could hear people downstairs, and you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? Because somebody's gonna find out that Dad's dead.
Yeah, and downstairs it's Dell, and she had laid Jeff Bridges down on a tarp, and Dickens is like kind of moving around. He's like, I don't know. I think he's throwing out the bodily fluids and stuff or something. And then Dell grabs Jeliza. He's like, oh, you brought my Noah back to me, child. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And now we gotta breathe new life into him because he's gone.
Right. Oh, and then when Jeliza's over like kind of spying on Dell and she sees that there's a bunch of taxidermied things at the house.
So, oh yeah, yeah, that's when she was getting groceries, and she's like, "Oh, this is gonna be free, right, boy?"
Yeah.
And first I was like, I don't
So,
know how desperate you gotta be. This lady's at least like 60. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think she was 60. I think she's just
So,
worn.
this grocery kid's got to be like 16 to 18.
Right, right.
Old enough to have a license, but young enough to not know any better.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and so basically Jaleesa sees that, Dell is like, "Oh, you're going to give me those groceries for free, and I'm going to take you into the little shed,
Yeah.
the taxidermist shed, and I'll give you a little something, something."
Yeah.
And Jaleesa like spies, and she sees, and she's like, "Oh my god, she's biting him, and maybe she's a vampire because it looks like she's trying to suck the blood out of his man parts."
Super uncomfortable dialogue. I mean, really, this movie feels foreign.
But again, there's the
naivety.
of a little girl seeing this.
Yeah, my parents were wrestling.
Either for the first time or saw it so often that it's not a.
Either way, it's sad.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, and so Dell's like, "I'm gonna give your daddy new life. We're gonna, and then so Jaleesa goes back to sleep, and when she wakes up, Jeff Bridges is fully taxidermied out.
Right.
But then she faints because she stabs into Noah's or Jeff Bridges' stomach, and she like faints, yeah. And then so she wakes up, Jeff Bridges is now like tanned out with the stitching and all that stuff, but the belly's still open, and she's like, "Well, Jaleesa, you got to put something that means a lot, to that's gonna breathe new life into him."
Yeah.
And so she puts like some of the doll heads in there, and Dell's like, "All right, well, let's clean this place up." So we get a little cleaning montage.
Yeah, and they repaint and they clean up.
Shitty paint job.
It totally is.
Yeah. But then Dell makes a whole meal.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and Jaleesa's eyes just. It's like seeing sun, like the outside for the first time. And Della's like, "Hold on, we gotta do our prayers." She's slapping Jaleesa's hands. It's a very if you grew up in a religious household and stuff, it's a very normal thing that definitely see a lot. But and then she's trying to talk. She's talking to Noah. Freaking Dickens and Jaleesa are just chowing down.
Yeah.
Like they're not even breathing, just like oh. But then all of a sudden, like Dell, I don't know what she heard, but she's like, "We gotta leave now."
Yeah.
And,
often in this movie.
Well, not now, but they do lay his body upstairs, and they have a little moment because then she's trying to tell Jaleesa, "Well, we gotta share your daddy now. I mean, you're his."
Yeah, he belongs to you, but we're sharing him.
Which is gross.
Yeah. And then she makes a comment. She's like, we can't bury him because if we bury him, then he's just gone. But if we do this, then he's here forever.
Yeah, and I think what triggers her is the squirrel on the roof, and she's like, "Damon."
Oh yes.
Damon. Dickens, we gotta go.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and then he's outside like trying to make a squirrel trap.
Yeah. But they leave. The squirrel eventually does get trapped in there.
Yep.
But Dickens is in the house with the wig that she had put on her dad.
Right. That she had found with her grandma's stuff.
And he's like, "Oh, I should leave. I'm sorry. I didn't knock. That was rude of me. I should go." And she's like, "No, Dickens, please stay. And then I'll make you pretty." And this is where he gets kind of comfortable because this is like a man-child situation with this little girl, and she puts makeup on him, and then they peck.
He gives her like a little kiss on the nose.
No, it's on the lips.
Well, it's the first.
No, the first one's on the lips.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because he's like, yeah, your grandma used to live here, and she used to kiss me like
lips.
this, and then he was like, and then she kisses him back.
Yeah.
And then but she doesn't really know. She's just all like, "Hey, ha, ha." I got a friend. Yay! We kissed. Now we're boyfriend, girlfriend. And then he's like, yeah, and Grandma used to kiss me sometimes like this, and he sticks his tongue out, and he's all like,
Oh, that's later. That's in his room.
But he starts talking about they don't kiss like that.
Yeah, they don't ever kiss like that. Thankfully.
But he says that, and she's like, oh, like it feel like a snake in your mouth.
Yeah, no. That was. I remember it vividly because of how disturbing it was for me. Because the little thing with the tug. That's like when they're in their room, and that's even more uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and all that stuff. But after the first like little pecks that they shared, Dick is like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta go. Dell's gonna be mad at me. Yeah. And all this stuff. And really, this is kind of just charging the rest of this whole thing because it's pretty it's more of like her kind of exploring, because like later like she has a dream that like Rapunzel is all fixed now, and while they're in their daddy's body and all that stuff.
Right.
But then she's like, oh, but Dickens got a secret, so I got to go over there and find out the secret, because friends don't have any secrets with each other.
Right. Oh, yeah, because she has the dream about the two heads in her dad.
Yeah.
And they tell her that Rapunzel is fixed and is coming back, but it's inside of her.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I must be pregnant because me and Dickens is kissers.
Oh. Yeah, so Shorty goes there, like, they find the squirrel, and the squirrel's now talking.
Right.
Look what you did to me, man. Look at me. That's my Huckleberry Finn voice. But then she accidentally scares Dickens, and he's like, you're not supposed to be here. This is Dell's shed. She's going to be super mad. But she's like, oh, but Dickens, you said you had a secret. And there's no secret between boyfriend and girlfriends. Yep. We're kissers now, And so they go up into his room, and then this is where it gets more uncomfortable, because that's when we get the whole tongue bit.
Right.
And then he kind of...
And we get into the room, the upstairs room, and they also see that grandma is in the upstairs room. Yeah. Also taxidermied.
Yeah. And then they do little pecks in there too. Yeah. Dell comes charging in, and she's like, "In Mother's room, in Ma's room, how dare?" Well, I mean,
right? Because he basically, after a couple kisses, he basically crawls up on top of her.
That's in his room.
Oh,
yeah. And then they go into the mother's room, because he said that's where the secret was.
Yes.
Because that's like when they go into the mother's room, there's also photos of her dad in there.
Yeah.
When he was a looker.
Yep, and that's what she. Oh, your mom and my dad, they used to be kissers.
Yeah. And what is that?
When they were young.
What does that make us? Oh God, Terry, what is going on? Is this what you think the South is like? Yeah, no, and then they share a couple pecks, and then Dell does rush into the room, super outraged, and she and then Dickens starts to go into a seizure because of everything that's happening.
Right. Yeah.
And then she's like, "Look what you did to Dickens! Look at him, he's struggling now." And then now Jeliza and Dell are fighting, and then she tosses Jeliza onto the bed, but then the boot of her heel
squishes Grandma's head.
Yeah, or Dell's mom's head.
Yeah.
And now she's super outraged. And then Jeliza takes this chance to leave the house. But then when she gets home, she's sleeping, I think, in the same bed as her dad. Yeah. And all of a sudden she hears a loud crash.
But so one of the secrets was that Dell had had dynamite.
That was the bigger. That was his favorite.
Yeah. Because he was like, I got dynamite, and I'm gonna use this on the shark.
Yeah.
And then if I kill the shark, then I'll be the hero, and everybody will like me again.
Yeah, not when you kill a bus full of kids, bro. But no. She wakes up, and then she sees the car crash, and she's like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" She starts walking into the wreckage. seeing everything happen, and then she sees a man sort of fidgeting the way that Dickens does, and she's like, Dickens, you finally did it. My husband did it.
Yeah.
He finally killed the shark, but it was just a man out of the thing. And presumably, you can presume that Dickens probably died during this whole thing.
Right.
But a woman starts to call out to Jeliza. She's like, "Well, babe, little girl, we're like, where's your parents?" She's like, "My parents are gone. They're not here." She's like, "Is there anything I could do for you?" She's like, I am hungry," and she has like a little
Orange
tangerine, or something, and then all of a sudden Delle's like screaming for Dickens, and she's like, "You stupid bitch," and the lady's like, "Well, excuse me." Jaleesa's still like, you're still in her world, but then this woman is like, "Hey, come here. It's just the two of us. We're lucky."
Right.
Because she presumes that Jeliza is from also the train crash as well. And she's like, I'll get you. I'll take care of you. I'll get you to where you need to go and all that stuff. And then, oh, look at all these fireflies. And Jeliza's like, oh, they all had names. They're my friends. And then, like, it cuts to black because we're at the end of the movie. But then it cuts to black and her eyes are still visible, which is, like, also just, like, a jarring imagery. Like, ooh, creepy. All right, and that's pretty. There's no post-credit scene for this. I was looking. All right, let's get to our other segment. We have high star and low star before we get into what our thoughts about this movie were.
I feel like it's going to be all 9s and 10s and 1s and 2s.
Yeah,
like there's nobody in the middle of the road on this movie. One of Gilliam's finest masterpieces. Completely forget any review you've read by Richard Roper because it's true crap. Tideland was a brilliant view of a child living in her very own fantasy world. She maintains her loneliness by holding conversations with her 4 doll-head friends, as well as squirrels and her new friend, a sexually confused brother of crazed witch lady. The movie is full of brilliant humor, as well as the realism of a drug-crazed parents, mixed with the fantasy world of a little girl's imagination. This movie was so much more than I hoped for. Way to go, Terry. This is purely one of your finest. Right up there on the level of Fear and Loathing. Any critic that gives this film a bad review should seriously question their competency as a film critic. Roger and Ebert.
And then we have a 1 out of 10 horror movie. This movie was awful and stressful to watch. Who cares about being a so-called movie critic? This movie was evil, and to see a young actress being exposed to these situations is distressing. There must be some really twisted people in the world, and it looks twisted. It looks like Twisted is being pushed even more in films, exposing little actresses to adult situations. I really believe it's a push to get them promiscuous. Door in the Floor was just as traumatic. I suspect that's the nature of Hollywood, and the parents of these actresses are more interested in living vicariously through their children than concerned about their emotional and mental well-being for the future. If I would have understood the Japanese on the cover at the video store, I wouldn't have rented this sick movie. Nothing of a good report comes out of Hollywood. Yeah, I can see that. It's a very uncomfortable watch.
Right.
Because then you're like, oh, where do we draw the line for art?
It's an interesting, because it's like one of those things where it's like all the acting in this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The filming is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The camera angles that he chooses to convey a message through just like a single shot is just he's always been brilliant. I always loved that about him.
Mm-hmm.
And he definitely is very stylized, like, because you see that same kind of film treatment in most of his movies.
Yeah.
So like, at what point are you like can somebody say, all the individual pieces of this movie all are like 9s and 10s out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie overall is a very uncomfortable watch.
Yeah.
So does that make it a bad movie? Because technically it hits all the, yes, this is a good movie part. Like,
Yeah.
check marks.
Yeah. I mean, I could see why people rate it so low, just because of like how uncomfortable it is to watch, and it is very true. Like, I mean, the 1 out of 10 rating has at least more viable points than most of the 1 out of 10s that we've.
Right.
You know,
It wasn't 15 minutes into this movie, I walked out.
Yeah, because you do wonder, like, well, yeah, how will this young actress feel later on, or how do they feel being put into the situation? Like, what is Terry Gilliam trying to send with this type of message? Because it's uncomfortable because you don't want to see it, but the thing about that is that it does happen in this world.
Right.
You know, the amount of murder podcasts I consume, I could definitely tell you what happens in this world. Like, it's just a sad reality of, like, a fact. It's, you know, it's just a sad reality that this does happen, and most of us just don't want to see it.
Right. Yeah.
You know, don't want to be like confronted with the reality of some people's situation.
Yeah, and like I said, I was like, there was a lot of it that was a movie to me because, like, I certainly didn't have parents that did drugs. Like, I wasn't neglected or beaten. I didn't, get forced to, I don't know, like, live with a crazy aunt,
Yeah. Or make heroin syringes
or
people.
have like some kind of messed up neighbor boy girl that was trying to get molesty with me.
Yeah.
So there was like a distance for me, but I could totally, like, if you were in an emotionally abusive, physically abusive, sexually abusive, like, household, man, there could be parts of this movie that are like just right in your face.
Yeah, I could definitely see this being like maybe a movie you would watch in like a psych class on like child psychology,
right,
or something like that, because like the things that she does to sort of maintain some sort of normalcy is in there. You know, it's a lot of coping mechanisms that her brain is trying to conquer.
Right, and it's psychology wise, it's so interesting. She stays so grounded by just kind of making a fantasy out of everything, but then in the real world, when she's 16 and she's thinking back on this, and she's like, I was the one giving my parents drugs and then they died. Is that my fault? I didn't understand, I wanted the neighbor boy to,
be my husband,
to show me his, like, secrets. And I learned from my aunt that if you want something, you got to sleep with somebody to get it. Because I watched her do that to get free groceries. So, like, how messed up am I? As a child, I'm not messed up, but as I get farther and farther out of childhood, how does my brain process those things to stay
sane? But like, I mean, you could already see like the fractures that's happening in her psyche, because like when she has like those moments of like, maybe she's like channeling her mom's like whole attitude, like, little bitch. Like, when she delivered that line in the mirror, I was like, yo, man, that's scary, man. Jodelle should get more fucking roles. You know? So cute. I want to go to a con just to meet her. You know, she's not that much younger. She's 29. I looked it up. First of all, I just want to make sure it's clear that I first kind of saw her in Dark Matter when she was 21.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, no. You could already see like the like, what is it, like DID kind of happening, or something that's like making her brain kind of switch off and like adapting like sort of different personalities to keep her like protected, at least as a whole, it's a very like split, you know, like she has all these little heads that are talking to her. Like, they all have separate voices, different personalities.
Right. Yeah.
So then you're like looking at this little girl and you're just like, oh man, how's the next 15 years of her life gonna be? Is she gonna, yeah, because like you said, like once you look back at it once you're older, are you gonna be guilt ridden? Are you gonna, like, well, was I not what is it, like a when you help or when you don't stop somebody from doing something, what is that called?
Oh, like an accomplice or like a
like an enabler.
Yeah.
An enabler. Was I an enabler? You know, why didn't I try to stop my parents from doing these things? Because there's like moments of in the movie where like she has like thoughts of like normal thoughts, like, oh, don't burn the body, you're gonna burn the building down.
Right. So it's an interesting that she doesn't really have the concept that her mom's dead, but she does have the concept that, hey, if I burn this, it's going to affect other people, and that's a bad thing. So like it's a, you know, I get you. It's like those parts of you that you learn, you know. Like,
yeah. But I mean, she also has a chocolate line too. When they find her mom dead, she's like, well, that means we eat all her chocolate.
Yeah.
Now.
Yep.
But that's just like also like a little kid thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because little kids are fucking psychopaths.
Right.
They're like sociopaths, right? Don't they say that? Like, little kids are like little sociopaths until they like...
Right. It's all about them until they learn that there's other people that are affected by what they do.
Yeah. And you're just hoping your kid grows out of that, you know? Otherwise, it's like, hey, 18, good luck. I'm going to move where you can't find me. Because there's also a lot of those murder podcasts where I hear people talk about how they got murdered by their kids.
Right.
It's a fucking Sith world out there for some people. Yeah. I am the master now.
Oh. And then some of some of the delusions about like her dad passing are then like just reinforced by multiple things in the movie. Like like her dad's talking about the bogmen, and they're like, oh yeah, they take a body and it looks like it's dead, and then like 1,000 years later it just wakes up. Yeah. That's how the bog people work. And then you got Dell, who's like, yeah, no, we just taxiderm this body, and then he's with us forever.
Yeah, and then you put something that you love in there, and then that love will manifest into life.
Yep.
Yeah, this movie is This movie's, you know, a lot of people, like, I read a couple of the other reviews and like, this movie's trying to be too artsy, but it's a very like almost like a grim fairy tale type of situation. And
yeah,
it does pull a lot from Alice in Wonderland, and because in Alice in Wonderland's always like people are like, oh, it's just like a fantasy book. No, it's a girl that's like fucking trying to deal with her home situation, escaping into fantasies and all that stuff. So
it made me think often while I was watching this about like there's a movie called Sybil, and it was about a girl who had just horrendously bad childhood, beat and, you know, tortured by her parents, and then she ended up having like 16 personalities, 13 personalities. Oof. And you know, the movie's about the psychiatrist trying to figure out what was true and what was not true from her past, because each personality has basically a different story or a different version, a different memory, and
different accounts.
Yeah, and so this is like this, but in that one's you're getting the past through the psychiatrist.
Yeah. And
this one you're actually watching the fantasy manifest through this child's mind as the bad things are happening.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a good thing that they didn't try to do this full fantasy, because it also just shows like what's real, what's not, and you're just like watching this little girl kind of just struggle.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Because if you put the fantasy aspects in there, like of course your audience can kind of discern like what's fantasy, what's not. But then it's also just like when you don't see it, it's sort of just like the harsh reality of this little girl.
Right. Yeah. And yes, this would have been even more brutal if she didn't have those little fantasy escapes.
Yeah. Because then it's almost like voyeuristic. You're just watching this little girl talk to her fingers.
Right. Yeah.
And also in this whole movie, I didn't see this girl drink one drop of water. So that could also, be a triggering factor to her delusions. She's like dehydrated. Severe. I think the only time she had something to drink, the only thing she had to drink was lemonade, and that's not great. It's packed with sugar. I prefer like lemon water to lemonade. It's just, and ever since I've kind of like curbed a lot of sugar too. It's just like when I try things that are like overly like that used to just be normal sweet, now everything is like overly sweet.
Oh, it's like you drink a glass of syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're
I totally know what you mean.
And you're like, oh my God, I've been putting this in my body. I could just feel a cavity start forming. I know, and I'm about to I'm gonna start to try to kick like diet stuff too. Just go to like seltzer waters or something. Because that's what they say is like the thing that you miss the most is the carbonation,
right?
Versus like the actual drink, just because.
No, that's true. I'm totally like I used to always drink like soda, and then I went to diet soda, and it's now been 20 years since I've like drank real soda, but like I do that where like there's a lot of people who talk about how diet soda's so bad for you, and it's like. I give it up, and then I'm like, I'll drink lemonade, or I'll drink water, or I'll drink, tea. But there's like you said, it's like
the carbonation.
Yeah, and then if it's like, if I have like just like, club soda with like a little juice in it or something, just that's got some bubbles and a little bit of flavor. That's like it does it. It's not like, I need the caffeine or anything like that. But yeah, it's like I start craving jonesing for it. Like I'm like it just.
That's what
like
they say.
I'm like, it's been a week. I don't even need to go to the store, but I'm gonna go to the store and get a bottle of soda, something carbonated.
That's what they say though. Is like the carbonation kind of hits you like your taste buds in a way.
Yeah.
And then like after you get acclimated to it, then you kind of start wanting it and all that stuff because
it's of all the things besides cheese, of course, addicted to cheese. But that's what. And I've gone like a month without it, and then it's just
my mouth's all dry.
Yeah, I'm like I can't drink enough water to quench this thirst. But one little glass of
something carbonated,
and I'm like, done. I'm done. I'm good. Perfect.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to. I was like, all right, because I have like one more case of like diet soda. And I was like, all right, after this, I'll just got like LaCroix or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, and then I'm supposed to be drinking more water than I am. So, but yeah, this movie is a pretty wild ride. Definitely, I would say like a good chunk of you, if you listen to this and then decide to watch the movie, there's a good chance you're not gonna like it, or there's a good chance there's no in between, like with the reviews.
Right? Yeah, I was gonna say either you're gonna love this movie or you're gonna hate it. And it's like I said, it's definitely a really well acted, a really well done movie.
Yeah. Just
on a very tricky subject.
Yeah.
But if you're a Terry Gilliam fan and you like his style, this is on point. His signature style.
Yeah.
But
can you? I wish he just made more comedies. I was like looking at the rest of his filmography. I was like, everything sounds so depressing. Gee, I know it rains a lot in UK, but jeez. All right, well, guys, we're coming up to our hour. Just to let you guys know, make sure to check out the rest of our months. We got a bunch of things out there for you. We have live adaptation video games.
Yeah, we did a month where every movie is 100% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, we got a film de cons over there.
We did a junk month where it's like there's the movies that are like movie theaters just make to fill in some space.
Yeah, for the January and February months. Yeah, we have a bunch out there for you guys to definitely delve into. But if this is the first time you guys are joining us, we have our reviews in 4 different sections. We have Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray, and the Ultimate Box Collection. Colby, where are you at for this one?
I've got to go Blu-ray. I would love to see like interviews with the cast, with the director. Kind of like get a little. Why did he choose this. It did. I heard somewhere that it was originally off of a book. So it'd be interesting to kind of see, if there was something in there that talked about the similarities and differences between this and the book.
I believe that's where I got the little tidbit too for like the accident that he was in. I think that was probably from the book and stuff like that. So yeah, no, that would be interesting. I think for me, I just gotta go stream it. This is a movie. I think you're like kind of one and done. You're like, all right, woof, let's put that down.
Right.
As much as a fan I am of like Jodelle, because she's been a phenomenal actor. I think like I was like because when I first saw her in Dark Matter, I was like, where is she from? And then go to the internet, it's like, oh, she was from freaking Silent Hill and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay, like no wonder she looks so familiar, but it's just like I don't see myself. Oh, I want to rewatch Tideland, and that's sort of where I am at.
So I did watch some other people's reviews and stuff, and most people agreed that it's kind of a tough watch. But a few people who like really liked it said, hey, if you watch this every like once a year, you get a kind of like almost like a different story every time you watch it, because you're looking for new things. You already know what to expect. Already know those like harsh parts, and so you can look around the room you're not like focused on the
main. I just can't, man. It was super uncomfortable to see the kisses. I was like, I mean, it's hard on both actors, right? Because it's like hard on this older actor who has to like kind of handle these scenes delicately. I mean, it's for the production and then for the content, it's just hard all around. And
that actor's been in a couple things too.
Oh, he's one of those actors that are like, I know that guy from somewhere. Yeah. I remember him from a movie where he was. It was very, what's it called? Oh God, what do you call it? It was very Columbine.
I was gonna say like a high school shooting kind of. Yes.
It's so strange to be like, yeah, he has that feel of him where he likes to shoot stuff up. But no, he was also in Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he was. I think he was the one that. He's been in huge things too, like The Revenant,
The Last of
Us, Violent Night. He was the guy who got his dick, his dick fucking chopped off or whatever. He's in Fargo. He's in an episode of Fargo. This guy is pretty big, like not like huge, not like main character huge, but he's been having pretty steady work ever since he's been in the business. So like if you see him, you'll definitely know him. Like, look at this. He has like probably like what, like 100 credits to his name.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you know him from other things, you know how what a stretch of an actor, what a range he has to be able to play this part, because that's a trying part. Like
and like like they said in Tropic Thunder, you don't go full.
Right.
Yeah, you don't, Tom Hanks it up,
Yeah. Like, I felt like he did almost like, he did to this part like DiCaprio did for Eating Gilbert Grape.
Oh, no, see, he went full. That's why he didn't get the award. That's what they said in Tropic Thunder. It was him and Sean Penn that went full.
Yeah.
God, Tropic Thunder is such a classic. It's like the last of a dying breed type of movie. We haven't gotten a comedy like that, and just this overly offensive comedy like that in a long time.
Yeah, unfortunately, we hit a point in society that.
I mean, I feel like the only people that can probably get away with it is still Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Oh, right.
The South Park guys. I feel like they still him and maybe Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Ted was pretty funny. I haven't watched it. They're like, that's such a live action Family Guy. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out our links down below for
all of our social medias, our Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, TikTok.
Yeah, which is probably our most busiest one.
Yeah.
That's to say the least. Yeah, that's the best way to get a hold of us, to send us any recommendations for you guys.
Yeah, and if you definitely like whenever we post new stuff, we always kind of throw it up on there, and that way you can make comments if you're like, "Oh, this movie was terrible," or "This movie was great." I agree with both of you.
But thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check it out as a theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Music for Podcast 3, and our Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.